Good morning to you. You're watching Fox and Friends First on this Tuesday morning. I'm Heather Childers. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. As always, we appreciate it. And there's fresh fallout to tell you about from the Mueller report. Attorney General William Barr set to testify before Congress as Democrats demand more information. Garrett Tenney is live for us in Washington, where the fight is far from over, unfortunately. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, Heather, my pleasure. It's not over by a long shot. 2 weeks from today, the Attorney General is scheduled to testify on Capitol Hill before the House Appropriations Committee, not about the special counsel's investigation. This is a regularly scheduled appearance on the Justice Department's budget for next year, but you can be sure the Russia investigation will come up. As Congress returned to Washington Monday, Democrats also made clear they plan to continue their own investigations into the president and to fight for the entire Mueller report to be released to the public.
I think that Mueller report was clear. The president's not exonerated. All I'm interested is for them to release the full report, the full Mueller report.
In the Oval Office, President Trump said he would not have any problem with the full Mueller report being made public. He and his supporters are also now waiting on the results of 2 internal investigations, which could expose how the Russia investigation began in the first place.
There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. Why haven't they been looked at? They lied to Congress. Many of them, you know who they are.
One of those investigations is by the Justice Department's Inspector General, which started a year ago. Fox News is told that investigation is nearing its completion. The other internal probe is looking into surveillance abuses by the FBI and DOJ. Republicans have complained that that one is making very little progress. Heather?
Yeah, a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes. Thank you so much.
You got it.
Well, top Democrats are now vowing to widen the scope of their investigation into President Trump.
We have found questions about whether he looked at any of the financial interest issues, and even if they didn't rise to the issue of a crime, it nonetheless could pose a great compromise of our national security.
House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff also dismissed calls by the White House and Republicans to step down. He claimed several times that there was evidence of collusion, which was not found by the special counsel. Well, many now say that it is time to go back to the beginning. Where exactly did the original collusion accusations come from? Mark Levin is calling out Democrats who say they want transparency for their refusal to get answers from Hillary Clinton and President Obama.
Collusion between the Democrat Party, the media, and the Obama administration. Hillary Clinton, she's been silent for 3 or 4 days, hasn't she? Barack Obama's been silent throughout all this, hasn't he? For all the talk of the Democrats who run these committees, they don't want to talk to Hillary Clinton. They don't want to talk to Barack Obama. They want transparency. I want transparency. Here's the impeachment clause of the Constitution. Treason, bribery, other high crimes and misdemeanors. I can name people who've committed treason, other high crimes and misdemeanors. He's not in the White House. They're members of Congress. We have a big problem in this country. The Democrat Party is not a pro-American party. They lost an election. They act like a third world party. They want to destroy the president and the presidency. Listen to their candidates. Anti-American, anti-capitalism, anti-liberty, anti-security, anti-immigration. This is the problem, and the media is the mouthpiece.
Well, Attorney General Barr also told Congress neither he nor Rod Rosenstein, who oversaw a majority of the Russia probe, could find sufficient evidence to charge President Trump with obstruction. Well, there's some other news going on. Let's talk about this. This Fox News alert: tensions mounting along the Gaza Strip. Israel and Hamas swapping rocket strikes overnight. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu now heading back home after cutting his trip to Washington short. Now, Greg Palcott is live for us in London with more on the escalating violence. Good morning.
Good morning, Heather. Yeah, that's right. We've been looking at various footage coming from the region, and it is not pretty. The folks in the region on either side of the border between Gaza and Israel assessing the damage of a night of war. Dozens of strikes, rockets from the Hamas organization in Gaza towards Israel, countered by bombardments by warplanes of the Israeli Defense Forces, that's IDF. They hit a range of targets in Gaza. Most of the rockets fired at Israel were stopped short or were stopped by the Iron Dome defense system there, but one got through, hitting an Israeli farmhouse north of Tel Aviv. 7 people were injured there, 5 said to have been hurt in Gaza. Here is how Israel described what they targeted. This prominent Hamas building is used for terror purposes by Hamas. It was targeted alongside IDF strikes conducted throughout the Gaza Strip. Hamas is responsible for all events transpiring in the Gaza Strip and emanating from it. Also rushed to the border afterwards with Gaza, ground troops and tanks of the Israeli forces. A ceasefire had been brokered between the two sides by Egypt, but as you can see, that all broke down. And this all came as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as you noted, Heather, was in Washington. He was meeting with President Trump on Monday. He did have to cut short that visit to head back to Israel, but he did have time for a few words of praise to President Trump and the United States. Take a listen.
When we exercise that self-defense, you have never flinched. You've always been there, including today, and I thank you.
Netanyahu faces elections in 2 weeks. Hamas has its own domestic problems. Perhaps the fighting might go on. Back to you.
All right. Greg Palcott live for us this morning. Thank you.